What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we've got a lot to get caught up on. This is your breaking news and stimulus check update. Now, hope you and the family had a blessed weekend, but take a look at some of the headlines coming out this morning, you guys. We've got new updates on the Russia and Ukraine situation. Russia has deployed 75% of its forces against Ukraine, and we're hearing that they're lining up along the Ukrainian border, and it looks like they're going to be attacking, and we're going to be entering into war. And over the weekend, we heard this from President Joe Biden. Take a look. Biden says that he is now convinced that Putin has decided to invade Ukraine, but leaves the door open for diplomacy. So they're saying, expect that this is going to be happening here any time now, but they're hoping that they can work something out through diplomacy. Now, also, here in the United States, there's a lot of talk about, is there going to be a stimulus check, a stimulus package, Build Back Better? Where do things stand? Well, take a look, you guys. We're hearing some negotiations are taking place, and we just saw this come out. Bernie Sanders takes a thinly veiled swipe at Manchin for siding with the GOP and opposing the child tax credits, which is those monthly payments to parents that have been helping them out, and they have stopped because there has been no extra stimulus package provided. Joe Manchin said, listen, according to the CBO, if we extend out the child tax credit and Build Back Better, and it's extended out for 10 years, it's going to add significantly to debt and inflation, and either we need to modify it, take it out, or add more pay-fors. But the way Build Back Better is right now, we can't pass it. He said, I can't do it. So they're trying to get him on board, but Bernie Sanders, he's got a few things to say about that. Now, also, all of this is taking place, and Joe Biden is still pushing Build Back Better around the nation, letting people know how beneficial it's going to be. But a lot of people are saying, what does that even mean when we haven't seen it passed? People have been waiting for months, and they want to see more stimulus provisions, another stimulus package, but we haven't heard a whole lot of activity other than they're talking a little bit here and there. Now, I will keep you up to date. I'm going to share with you the latest details of what we're hearing with Build Back Better, and also the breaking news of what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. So you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. And first, though, let's start off by smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, it helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, totally free, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and you can come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to date. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of. All you got to do is hop on to Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. Best way by far to get a hold of me directly. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's start off with the breaking news coming out between Russia and Ukraine. All right, you guys, so first up, link in the description below to this article that says Biden says he is now convinced that Putin has decided to invade Ukraine. Now, the article says that President Joe Biden on Friday said that he is now convinced that Russian President Vladimir Putin has made a decision to invade Ukraine, but empathizes that the room for diplomacy remains. Now, he says, as of this moment, I am convinced that he's made the decision, Biden said during remarks at the White House. The president also said that the U.S. believes Russian forces intend to attack Ukraine in the coming week. So sometime this week, they're expecting war to start, or sooner, and that an attack will target the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. Now, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin on Saturday said that Russia was moving into the right positions to conduct an attack, echoing Biden's assertion that Putin had made his mind up on invading. They're uncoiling and now poised to strike, Austin said. Now, the U.S. said that it will pursue a diplomatic solution until the very last minute, until it's not possible. Biden plans to spend the weekend monitoring the ongoing Ukrainian crisis from the White House as he meets with his national security team and remains in close contact with world leaders, multiple officials have said. Now, Biden has considered traveling to Delaware, as he typically does, but decided to remain in Washington. Vice President Kamala Harris was in Munich, Germany, where she warned that swift and severe united consequences for Russia in the event of an invasion. Now, throughout the recent days, the Biden administration has publicly disclosed several intelligence details on the Russian movement, a marked shift in how U.S. national security officials typically operate. The administration's decision to discuss the movements loudly and repeatedly, Biden said on Friday inside the Roosevelt Room, was made to remove any reason that Russia may give to justify invading Ukraine and prevent them from moving. So he said that right now, they're putting it all out there, letting us know what's unfolding, preparing the world because they're saying right now Russia is setting up to invade. Now, let's take a look at some video footage that just came out today and share with you where things currently stand with Russia's movement along the border of Ukraine.
The world is on edge this morning as Russian President Vladimir Putin continues to amass troops and equipment near its border with Ukraine. U.S. officials say they are still committed to diplomatic options, but according to the latest U.S. intelligence assessment, Russia now has close to 75% of its conventional forces postured there at the border. So let's have a walkthrough of exactly what is going on there with Major General James Spider-Marks, our CNN military analyst and head of geopolitical strategy at Academy Securities. Okay, can you just tell where all has Putin amassed these troops?
Well, let's take a look at it. And first of all, let's take it from Putin's perspective if we can. NATO member, NATO member, NATO member. That's what started all of this, is this movement of NATO to the east. And that's the view that Putin has that's concerning him. So what you see is these are installations that are routinely occupied by Russian forces. The red positions that you see on the map here are where exercises are taking place. And this is where Putin and President Lukashenko were located this weekend together, observing the exercises. So he has deployed, to include forces down here in Crimea, which we all know he took in 2014. So this is incredibly threatening, obviously. Ukraine surrounded on three sides. So that's what has everybody incredibly concerned, as legitimately they should be.
And it's about the movement. Where are the troops going? So what is the new satellite imagery showing that we've seen?
Yeah, Brianna, let me show you one of the pieces of imagery that just came in. This is a tank location, but also you see tanks as well as support vehicles, which would be refuelers, armored personnel carriers for infantrymen. And clearly what the Russians use is they use their infantrymen and then tanks to support that, which is different from how the United States uses it, where we want to exploit with our armor, our tanks, and then the infantry are then used appropriately to do some really precise work. So what you see with this image is this is an indication of a very large, probably, I would say, a battalion or maybe a company within a battalion, which means there are other forces that are outside the range of this piece of imagery that are in direct positions ready to attack. Again, what we don't know, I mean, beyond that, that's intimidating, but what we don't, that's a capability. What we don't know is whether the rule is, or the mission is, to go or to continue to hold what we have.
So there you have it, you guys. Russian troops mounting along the border of Ukraine, and I will keep you up to date as more information unfolds. We're hearing that it's very likely that sometime this week, maybe even today, there could be an attack launched against Ukraine. I'll keep you up to date here on the channel. Now, here locally, we're hearing that President Joe Biden is touting the Build Back Better bill, how it's going to be helping support the nation throughout this time. We even heard that he has announced that he's going to be extending out the state of emergency for the pandemic. I'm going to give you more details on that in upcoming videos, as we just heard it today. But also, we're hearing that there's condemnation on Joe Manchin from fellow Democrats who are saying that they need to pass Build Back Better and the child tax credit. And that's coming from none other than Senator Bernie Sanders. A link in the description below. Bernie Sanders takes a thinly veiled swipe at Manchin for siding with the GOP and opposing the child tax credit checks. Now, the article says Senator Bernie Sanders said on Twitter that ending monthly checks for families was morally obscene after new research illustrated just how many children fell into poverty as payments dried up. Now, in December, families across the country stopped receiving up to $300 per month for child tax credit checks per child, money that had been godsend for some parents receiving them. The IRS said that over 36 million families received about $16 billion in the last batch of payments on December 15th. Now, Sanders cited a new analysis from the Center of Poverty and Social Policy at Columbia, which found that 3.7 million kids slid back into poverty with the credit's expiration. Child poverty rose to 17% in January compared to 12% in December, and 41% increase that brought it in line with the late 2020 levels. The research found that Latino and Black children saw the largest rise in poverty. And here's the tweet from Bernie Sanders. In January, the child poverty rate increased by 40% in just 1 month, jumping from 12.1% to 17% as 3.7 million children slipped into poverty. How did this happen? 50 Republicans and 1 corporate Democrat allowed the $300 a month child tax credit to expire. That is morally obscene. Wow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, talks are still taking place, we're hearing, and we heard Democrats and progressives say that they're going to get this done and worked out by March 1st. That is the current tentative arrival time of when we're hearing that they want to have this done by. But we haven't heard a whole lot of progress happening on this, even though President Biden is continually saying they're going to get it done. Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but I will keep you up to date here on the channel. Now, that is the latest. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps out my channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me again, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.